Have you ever wondered what it really takes to be the secret weapon behind a booming eBay store? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the role of an Inkfrog expert. Think of this as your complete playbook for turning e-commerce chaos into a smooth, well-oiled machine. Let's dive in.
You know, every great freelance project starts by solving a real person's problem. Just picture a business owner who's totally overwhelmed by their own product catalog. They need an expert, someone who can navigate the wild world of eBay for them. And that's where you come in. This is the exact challenge we're going to break down and solve today. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the client's mission. Then, we'll get our toolkit ready. After that, it's all about mastering listings and inventory, getting the branding just right, and finally, we'll look at what mission accomplished actually means. It's 6 simple steps to take you from novice to pro.
Okay, first things first. What does the client actually want? Before you can jump in and start doing the work, you have to be crystal clear on the mission. It's all about defining those core duties right from the get-go.
It really just boils down to 3 main responsibilities. Number 1, creating brand new product listings. Number 2, managing and tweaking the ones that are already live. And number 3, and you could argue this is the most critical part, syncing inventory to prevent that absolute nightmare of overselling. They might sound basic, but trust me, getting the details right is what separates the amateurs from the true experts.
All right, with our mission locked in, it's time to put together our toolkit. And I'm not just talking about software here. We need to understand the fundamental relationship between your tools and the marketplace. You got to know the lay of the land before you can start building an empire, right? And this, right here, is the absolute cornerstone of the entire operation. Think of Inkfrog as your command center, and eBay is your public storefront. Everything you build, everything you manage, you do it in Inkfrog, and it pushes all those changes live to eBay. If you don't nail this workflow, nothing else matters. This is the foundation for everything we're about to do.
Okay, now let's get into the real heart of the day-to-day work, mastering those listings. This is where you're going to spend most of your time creating, optimizing, and basically managing the entire product catalog. This is your core loop, a repeatable process that makes a huge job feel totally manageable. So, step 1, get all your data together. That means images, prices, descriptions, get it all organized. Step 2, build the listings. You take that data and create perfectly optimized listings right inside Inkfrog. And finally, step 3, you manage and tweak. This is the constant, ongoing work that keeps the store competitive.
All right, let's get into what is probably the most technical and definitely the most critical part of this job. Think about it. If your stock levels are wrong, you end up selling things you don't actually have, and that is a complete disaster for any online business. This section is all about preventing that from ever happening.
This is the million-dollar question for every single online seller. How do you sell on a huge platform like eBay when your inventory is managed somewhere else, and still make sure the numbers always match up? The answer, in a word, is automation.
And that automation has a name: inventory synchronization. It sounds kind of fancy, but in simple terms, it's just the process of making sure the quantity on your eBay listing is a perfect mirror of what's sitting on the warehouse shelf. When one number changes, the other has to change with it, instantly and automatically.
So how does this automation actually work? Okay, this is where it gets a little technical, but the idea is actually really simple. You just need different systems to talk to each other automatically. For instance, your tool of choice, whether it's something like Python or PHP, it just acts as a messenger. You set up a rule so that every time a sale happens on eBay, your script instantly tells Inkfrog to update the inventory count. This is what stops you from selling something you just ran out of. The key thing here isn't the specific code. It's the idea of using a script to create that automated communication line between your systems.
So once we've got the back-end engine all sorted out and running smoothly, we can finally shift our focus to the front end, what the customer actually sees. This is all about making those listings look professional, trustworthy, and completely on brand.
A great listing template really comes down to a simple checklist. First, is it modern and does it match the brand? Second, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable, is it mobile-friendly? Third, does it follow all of eBay's rules? And finally, does it have those key trust signals, like a logo and some professional banners? If you can check off all these boxes, you are well on your way.
After all that hard work, gathering the data, building the listing, designing the template, setting up the sync, it is time for the moment of truth, hitting publish.
And the goal here is a flawless launch. Absolutely no errors from eBay, just a perfect listing that's live and ready for customers. So, how do we know if we actually succeeded? Well, it's simple. We go right back to the very beginning. We measure our work against the client's original goals. This is how you prove your value and show that you delivered.
And here it is. The proof. Mission accomplished. The listings launched without a single error. The stock levels are perfectly accurate, and that new template, it looks amazing on every single device. By following this playbook, you've delivered on every single one of the client's goals. Now that is what a job well done looks like.
So there you have it. We've gone all the way from that initial client request to a fully executed, successful project. You now have the playbook for success as an Inkfrog expert. The blueprint is officially in your hands. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build next?